everyone! I'm Heyooo, your local loser trying to make do on the internet. Nice to meet ya! Talking about meetings, I've recently met this game called the Freak Circus. If you clicked on this video, you probably already know what it is. You can skip to it this time if you don't care, but really, it's gonna be quick, there's no need to. The Freak Circus is a horror yandere light novel that revolves around this Freak Circus. Shocking, I know. Piero, one of the performers of the circus, is a yandere and falls madly in love with us. He then tries to get closer and win us over. Throughout the game, we also meet Harlequin, Dr. Ticket, Take Me Home, and Jester. We also start to learn about the lore, which I am very, undoubtedly, much interested in. How did I do? Did you skip? So, in this circus, we have a few tents corresponding our characters. The red for the red guy, the green for the green guy, the purple for the purple guy, the blue for the blue guy, and the cyan for this guy. Besides those 5 tents, we also, as the player, know of 2 more, the pink and the black tent. The pink tent is one we get to know early on if you're a conflict avoidant such as myself and chose not to step up for Piero on day 1. Its color surely holds some symbology due to Columbina, one of the past members of the crew, that now lives on in each one of them. Memories. The other tent, the black one, is the only tent that so far in the game we can't get inside. Mr. Neko Boy, the creator of the game, has actually recently confirmed that the black tent has a special attraction that I believe has something to do with humans. Oh, but Cryptid, this could mean anything. How do you know that your theory holds value? I don't. It's hard to say for sure what a human attraction would be exactly, so let's brainstorm a few theories. It could be a community soup, be a bidding thing, like a black market where they offer humans for buying. It could be literally an attraction of sorts. Humans being starved and forced to cannibalize. I'm sure if we stay here a little while longer thinking we could come up with more stuff. But let's focus on these 3 for now, yes? Here's the thing. There's a lot of holes and stuff that we just can't have a precise way of knowing yet. So bear in mind that a lot of this video is purely conjecture and assumptions based off of slight implications shown in-game and in the Freak Circus Tumblr page. But before we dive deeper in any of those possibilities, let's set some ground to work with. What do we know about the black tent so far? We can't get in without a black ticket. We can't acquire a black ticket because they're sold out, but we know that this is... If you go to the black tent, even after a ticket taker tells you not to, you get a dialogue saying, "Look at those weirdos, the circus is hiring new freaks." Which comes to show that for the general public, the line on the black tent is a bunch of standout humans. We get an observation from MC that everyone there is super tall, the same way she points out Piero is really tall, and we all know that tall people are monsters. From slight analysis, we can see that they are all covered, save from one guy that's showing his hair and eyes. Neko answered in his Tumblr that the main cast of monsters had casual attires for when they were off duty, and those attires covered every ounce of skin from them, as a way of concealing their real form. So, being completely covered is a sign that someone could be a monster. You know that conservative old lady in your church? Yup, it's people. Careful with her. There is also the fact that pretty much everyone has their eyes on us when we keep coming back to the black tent. It's presumable they don't want us in there, be it to protect us or them, which lead us to believe that whatever goes on inside that tent, it's probably some heinous act that average humans aren't supposed to see, but that's conjecture on my part. Neko has stated more than once on his Tumblr that we'll see more of monsters in the future updates, as in more about monsters as a species will appear, and also monsters aside from the main cast. So, summarizing it. We need a black ticket to get in. We can't acquire a black ticket. Everyone that has a black ticket is pretty tall, stands out, and is fully covered. Whatever is going on in there ain't no good. Now that the feud is set, let's get to it. We know that monsters don't just walk down the street revealing themselves. We know they exist on the planet as long as humans do. And we know they prey on humans. We can also suppose, given Mr. Neko responses in the past, that monsters didn't always know that humans' meat was more nutritious to them, which indicates that they might have not always preyed on humans. This info is pretty old and can be taken at full value, I reckon. Humans are accounted for, be it by family, government, friends. When one disappears, it leaves a noticeable hole. So monsters can't just and move on, they need a strategy. What a better idea than a moving place that distracts everyone and leaves before trouble arises? You may ask me, why would they, the main cast, feed monsters instead of eating the humans themselves? The short answer is, monsters look out for each other. It's what's natural to them. The long answer is, get ready for basic math. We see on day 1 that the ones giving out pamphlets are Pierrot, Harlequin, and a few fools. Then on day 2, MC points out that there's more fools handing out pamphlets. Bear with me. Recently, Nico revealed that each cast usually has a number of assigned fools. Mr. Jester and Mr. Ticket Taker usually have between 5 and 10. Doctor usually have 2. Hero doesn't like having fools with a few occasional exceptions. And Harlequin has a rule about not having them. Currently in-game, Mr. Jester has 7. Actually, maybe 6, cause he kinda kills someone off on the show. Mr. Ticket Taker has 5, and Mr. Doctor has 1. Summing it up, that would be 13 fools, or 13 humans, under the clause of the circus in-game right now. And we're only on day 2, so it would be sensible that this number goes up. Now, we know thanks to the pink tent ending in day 1 that there are also people who don't become fools. They get relocated or dinnered. Essentially, we would have something like 13 plus X humans under the circus clause. Not to speak of the dolls, that I'm not quite sure if they're one possible future for relocated humans or something else entirely. But Mr. Doctor does refer to us in allusion to other dolls, which might indicate that the dolls were at least once human. Other than the fools, there are the dolls, the relocated, and the eaten ones. But knowing the fools give aid to the functions in the circus, and with them alone we have a total of 13, number that can possibly go up, we can assume that the other functions will add a bigger sum to the equation. We can also presume that when they move towns, they don't take all of the humans employed with them, because it would be too much of a hassle. And they also can just give them back to their everyday life because, duh. So, what happens with those fools? Exactly, they need to dispose of them. I say there is a bigger stock than there is demand, unless there was more demand. And that will lead to the black tent being a community soup! Monsters go there, they eat, nyam nyam nyam, and they leave. Amen! This does raise an important question though. One that I will address in the next theory. I find this one more unlikely. I don't think they care enough for humans to make a whole beat around an individual. Not to talk about the implications of a monster keeping a human pet. Although, considering that Jester refers to us as Spiro's pet, it isn't an entirely impossible dynamic. If you ever saw detective, criminal, high society movies, you know what an auction looks like. The guys bring out the merch, the auctioneer gives the initial bid, and the bidders raise the bid until it's sold to the highest one. Basic. Now picture this. The same thing, but instead of selling objects, we sell people. Truly a heinous idea. I'm glad such a thing never happens, or will happen in our society. Anyways, for this theory to work, we need to consider a few things, such as, how is the state of the merchandise? How would the winning bidder take the merchandise with them without calling too much attention? Aren't the stakes too high for such a thing to even be viable? I say it's quite unlikely. As interesting as this one is, we can't even know how the merchandise would be exhibited. To beat a human and take him home with you sounds unrealistic. The people standing in that line already stand out as themselves, much more carrying the body out. There really is no scenario that such a thing would seem viable. For instance, the person is awake and livid. Do I have to say anything? They'll struggle with all their might to get away, which would cause a scene. The person is awake but not livid. This could pass by unnoticed, much like the fools who are willingly contributing to the circus. But so far, there hasn't been shown any element of the story that could heavily sustain this. There is the theory that Mr. Jester's ability is related to mind control. But first things first, this is just conjecture. Second, if it is true, we still don't know the conditions, the ratio, if he can maintain it, if he has to maintain it, or if it's self-sustainable. We know nothing, so basically, for now, it's hard to tell. The person is asleep. A bunch of tall, uncanny-looking people carrying other asleep humans in their arms. It's not illegal to carry people, but it would attract attention. The person seems asleep, but it's awake. This is possible since it's what happens to us in the pink tent ending, but for the same reason as the first one, unlikely. Though a valid speculation would be considering that we don't really know if whoever entered the black tent left through the same place. After all, the game don't really narrate when people are leaving the tents, because why would it? Still, the speculation is very subjective, hard to bank on it. If the black tent is a community soup or a black market for food, how is the food served? Are the origins alive? Are they torn to bits and pieces and wrapped like a turkey? If so, the monsters would eat there or take it home. Would be odd to see a bunch of people enter a tent and leave with paper bags, so probably not this one. If they do eat there, they wouldn't have the need to cut the meat. But regardless of if the person is alive, dead, or torn to bits, how civil is the eating? Would they get dirty with blood and entrails? How much does one consume? A whole box or just a few packages? If they do eat more than one box at a time, it would resurface the idea that maybe the main cast does consume everything themselves. We also know that Mr. Doctor has a refrigerated truck to transport the food, so they probably don't get rid of everything when they move. You see, too many questions, too little answers, multiple big gaps, which leads me to find both these theories. I wouldn't say it's completely off the table, but it's sliding off with the tablecloth very swiftly. There could be a big pot of lore that's about to hold everything down. Who knows? We're gonna have to wait and see. Let's leave the whole organic fare and human trafficking aside. Maybe the Black Tent is just another show. Yeah, another attraction directed to a more specific public. As we pre-established, whatever goes on in there is not for everyone's eyes. Going from the assumption that the Black Tent is exclusive for monsters, I believe that the show that goes in there could be some sort of retaliation. Mr. Jester has shown a bit of his charming self in them as before. Feels like a lot of projection to me, which is fair. I am all for making justice with your own hands and all. You go, son. Conquer the world. Conquer me. This led me to think, maybe the Black Tent is also one spot for relocation. Maybe humans are thrown in cages there and left for exposition, like when humans would trap exotic animals in cages and make them dens. Monsters do the same thing to humans. It wouldn't be impossible. We could go even further to say it could be a whole recreation of what the cast went through, but with humans in their place. I think someone hungry enough would give in to the survival instinct of hunger. I am left wondering, why would other monsters humor this though? It could be a simple Sunday stroll to them, but I fear that living knowing that the biggest plague on earth would hunt you down if they knew of your existence makes leisure strolls a tad off the table. But what do I know? I'm part of the plague. It gotta be either a sense of power shifting, something like, who's in the cage now? After all, we can't assume that the only monsters that have been wronged by humans were our main cast, an idea that's reinforced by the fact that monsters live in hiding, concealing their forms, and are literally considered urban legends. So, like humans expose freaks of natures for points and laughs, why would monsters be any different? After all, wasn't it mankind that came up with the name? Bonus idea! Woohoo! The mashup. It's a mashup of all the other ideas. Good job. Great idea. Yay, great explanation. You know, an exposition. Wow. Humans, or you can also buy your own, have it as a pet, or eat it up, eat it up, eat it up, eat it up, eat it, bleh. Eat it up, 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 eat it up.